Hey everybody, this is Celine, Moon Goddess Tarot. Hope you guys are doing well today, or this morning. It's Tuesday morning. I don't remember the date. I don't know. It's March. I'm still waking up and having coffee. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. I decided to do a pickle card reading on advice from the universe. Like, maybe there's somebody out there that just either needs direction in their life, or maybe advice about what to do about a situation. I thought it would be not a bad thing. We all need that sometimes, and I know for me, I'm so strong-willed, and getting advice like from tarot was much easier for me to swallow than someone telling me, hey, you need to get your shit together or something like that. So maybe there's somebody out there that needs that. So, and it's so nice. You could just click on the video. It's between you and God, and you don't have to worry about it. So, okay. So that being said, I will say that I've heard, I'll say it again. I've heard that there are people trying to solicit private tarot readings from people, and pretty much, taking their money, impersonating other tarot readers that are online. So if you get an email or something from Celine Moon Goddess Tarot, hey, let me do a private reading for you, that's bullshit. I don't do private readings. Oh, and I do cuss here, so if you do have issues with cuss words, maybe this isn't the channel for you. I mean, I don't like, cuss like profusely, but there's some F-bombs, there's, and then for the sexual readings that I do, I do cuss in those too. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about what we got here. I got a few oracle cards here. We have pile 1, which is tiger's eye. Is pile 1. Pile 2 is red jasper. And pile 3 is jade. I think this is jade. And then the decks I'm going to use for each one is for the tiger's eye, Tarot of the Spirit, which is a classic deck. Then for jasper, red jasper, we're going to use the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. And this deck, which the box it comes in is so big, it is the Tarot of Dreams. This is the way the box looks. See, it's kind of big. By Ciro Marchetti. I love that deck, actually. All right, so let's get started, guys. Go ahead and pause the video. If this is your first time here, the way pickle cards work is you kind of go with the deck that calls to you. If you start listening to the deck you picked and it doesn't sound like it resonates with you, then you're more than welcome to pick another deck. Yeah, it's really just something fun loving to be just to pass around good karma and good encouragement. Don't try to take it too seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. If there's something that is said that just doesn't resonate with you, take what does and leave the rest. And let's get started. Okay. Okay, guys. Pile 1. You guys chose the Tiger's Eye stone. Put that there. And let's see. Let's do the oracle. Let's do the oracle cards first. Let me get this out here. Okay. Okay. So this top card is an oracle deck called The Universe Has Your Back. It's a really nice, encouraging deck that I like using. Okay, so, I love this one. Happiness is my birthright. Happiness is my birthright. I remember the first time I heard that, it was actually profound for me because I never really put those two things together, attaching, we have a right to have, well, we should have a right to have a good upbringing and, have, be well taken care of when we're born, things like that. There's certain things that you have in life that you're like, it should be expected, right? But happiness is one of those things that for sure I have never been taught was something that is a birthright, that it's your right to be happy. A lot of people go through their life in needless suffering, assuming that I know for myself, like you're going to get some award for it. You're not going to get any award for any, self-imposed suffering. And even if it's not self-imposed, even if it's, a situation you're in and you're just kind of sitting there and not actively trying to get out of suffering you're in. The other oracle deck we're using is the Elemental Oracle. Isn't it pretty? So it uses the elements on Earth and space and all of that for, attributes. It uses alchemy, science, and magic is what it says. And it's by Stacy DeMarco. And you got the sun. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful card. Look at that. Okay. So let's see what the sun means here. This is number 6 in the deck here. Okay, it says to be grateful for what you have right now. Every day brings new possibilities and opportunities. Concentrate on building your vitality and health. Shine a strong light upon the dark corners. Honesty and transparency. Transparency, I can't talk, are vital at this time. Wow. So, the element, of course, is fire for this. It has a very long explanation, but I just did what kind of to the point. So, wow, it seems like you might be needing some encouragement or you're going through a really difficult time right now. So let's go ahead and shuffle. I like to live shuffle. Three's the charm. All right, let's see what encouragement, advice from the universe for pile 1. Thank you. That flipped. And by the way, I don't read reversals. Some people might be disappointed by that, but I feel like there are, that the tarot is sufficient in that way, and it's actually a more modern, or it wasn't meant to, my understanding is that it wasn't meant to be read that way when the deck was created, but everybody has their own opinion, to each his own, right? Okay, let's see, pile 1, advice from the universe. All right, we'll take those 2. Okay, wow. All right, so give me just a second here. Okay. So it looks like for sure you're starting off pile 1. I don't know what the specific circumstances are, but it definitely looks like you've been in a time of your life of just I get the feeling of walking through peanut butter. Like you're moving in a direction, but you're just working really hard, and it's taxing on you. We have the 8 of Pentacles, which represents really the mountain, right? It's like working towards something, putting a lot of effort into something. But when I think of a mountain, I think of its, girth, right? It's just huge. And, mountains over, centuries can change in their shape, right? But it just takes so long for that to happen. And I think you've been waiting and waiting for something to grow, something to see some positive outcomes from the work that you're doing. Naturally, right? We all want to, when we're working towards something, and especially in the society nowadays, we want quick results. We want results that are going to, be right away. We want to do something, cause and effect. I applied for this job. How come they didn't call me back? I tried to, tried to buy this house. I'm waiting. I still haven't gotten a call back. The things that, we really want to get that, fast result. And sometimes the universe is like, you know what? Divine timing. And nobody likes to hear that word, divine timing. Like, if you watch tarot readings, you know what I mean. You don't want to hear, it's okay, but it's going to happen, but you got to be patient. No one wants to hear that. But this has really taken a toll on your spirit. You've been really sad about it, mourning, staying kind of, in your head, discouraged, not feeling like things are going to turn out the way that you want them to, and perhaps even just feeling like the path that you're taking might not even be the right path that you should take. I think and then you have the Two of Pentacles and the the One of Wands, which is one of fire. This deck uses earth, water, and fire, and air. So you have the Two of Earth and the One of Fire. And, when I see the Two of Earth, I feel like that, represents to me balance, but tangible balance, balance having to do with, maybe things in your finances you've maybe not been balanced in. Maybe that's part of why you're feeling things are just not turning out the right way, turning out the way that you want it to. Maybe you get still, you think that you're moving forward and then there's stumbling blocks. Getting in the way, and you're trying to create this balance, and it's not happening for you. There's also, I'm thinking, that there could be, some spiritual, not mental, more spiritual, maybe battle inside yourself. Maybe you're trying to decide maybe if there's a right way to do something or a wrong way, thinking of the repercussions of, like, if I do this, then I won't get, this opportunity won't come up, but I want this opportunity, and, just kind of back and forth about it. I think the universe really wants you to try to pull back from that and remember the passion, remember your passion, remember what made you, what's, even though this is feeling, the Eight of Earth is feeling like you're walking through peanut butter, what made you even step into this in the first place? What is it that you're trying to build and grow here? Where is that passion? Where did passion go? Wands and fire, it's all about passion. It's about force. It's about momentum, desire, all of that. And it's such a stark contrast from the Eight of Earth to the One of Fire. So yeah, it seems like you're kind of really in a tough kind of place right now in your life. So let's see what else the universe has to say. Can I get some advice for pile 1, please? Oh, okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is really encouraging. All right. So what we have here is we have let me pull one more card here. One more card for encouragement. Okay. So this is really encouraging. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, Temperance, the Ten of Wind, which would be the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Water, Seven of Cups. So, the Nine of Pentacles usually represents someone who is, got their shit together, independent, really not needing anything from anyone. Kind of that person who's making enough money that, they can have a nice, cushy savings account and have money to spend. But more than that, their persona is one of independence, self-love. They feel very secure in themselves. They don't, they feel really complete. And, the message that I'm kind of feeling here is that, when you get back to this ace, this one of fire here, when you get back to this center of what passions that you have, really that's when you're going to find that you're going to come out winning in the end. Inside, this is, universe is saying, this is who you are. You are that, independent, beautiful, capable, person to make this happen. Whatever exactly that you're working on. But, when I think of, the mountain, if you go, on a trail and you're actually going up a mountain and it's going uphill, your tendency, it's a natural, anyone's tendency, not yours personally, is to look down at the ground and look at your feet, because you don't want to fall, right? But then at the same time, you're not looking ahead to see, how much further you have to go. You're just focused on what's in front of you. And sometimes we lose sight of why we're even on that damn mountain. What the fuck are we doing here, And, I think the universe is saying is to look up. Look up. Look how far you've come, and look how little more you have to go. Look up and remember your passion, and you're going to get exactly what you're wanting. Continue to manifest it. This is where the universe wants you to be, this mindset, but like I said, when you're just staring what's in front of you, in front of your feet, as you're walking up this hill, panting, tired, back hurts, I don't know. That's how I feel when I'm up there trying to walk a mountain, which is not often, by the way. And then temperance, which is all about balance, right? Which really matches the two of Pentacles. Feeling the lack of balance here, and the universe is saying, through finding your passion again, you're going to find your balance. Your balance is going to come back. This is about taking, like if you see this figure here, one side is blue, which reminds me of like water, and the other side is kind of green, which reminds me of earth. And one foot is in each side. It's like being able to go right down the middle, the easy path down the middle, the most efficient path down the middle, is what this speaks to me. And relying, on the universe or God, or however you choose to, however you choose to address your higher power, and look at this. We have the sun here and we have the sun here. It really is a message for you to look up, like these people are. These people are looking up to the sun. They're not looking at the ground. It looks like they're on a wall. I would be looking down at the wall thinking I'm going to fall. But they're looking up, okay? They're looking up. And I think that's, the advice that the universe wants you to take. Look up and don't get discouraged, You have the Ten of Swords here. And, this deck is wonderful because it really does have a lot of encouraging descriptions of how the cards, in a typical Rider-Waite deck, Ten of Swords can sometimes, people, like for me, I'm like, oh, that's a bad card to get, but really it isn't. 10 is a number of completion. It is a number that says you are at the end of your journey and things are about to become wonderful. And when we're talking about swords, it's about knowledge. It's about a knowing, epiphanies, things like that. A new understanding, a new outlook on your future. So, going through this difficult time here with, even the Five of Water, being so discouraged, feeling like things are just not moving in the direction that you want them to go. Yes, you have carried a heavy burden, but, it's funny, this card is called the Way of the Cross. It really is a crossroad. It is a time where you're going to go from one moment in your life of having a heavy burden to no longer having those burdens anymore. And the last card that came out is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups, sometimes people will interpret it as, confusion. I don't think it, for me, and especially for what the universe is trying to tell you right now, I think what this says is that you're going to be having a lot of options. You're going to have a lot of emotional choices that you can make. You're going to have things be offered to you as a product of your hard work. you're going to have what you've desired. Now, this could be new relationships. It could be new connections for business. It could be, maybe family members that you get in touch with, or that you haven't talked to in a long time that are going to come back in your life and really rejoice with you about your success. Okay. And I think, too, I'm really drawn to this eye at the center here, and the Ten of Wands and understanding and learning. You're going to really transform in that area. And, it is that way, isn't it? Like when you think of diamonds, it takes pressure and heat in order to create such a beautiful jewel. And sometimes in our life, we have to fight for our happiness, and we have to go through so much despair sometimes in order to come out that beautiful, brilliant diamond at the end. And that's all because, makes me think of that. Isn't there a scripture in the Bible that says something about God won't give you anything that you can't handle. You'll be able to stand up under it. So just remember that. I don't know if you're religious. It's okay if you're not. Sometimes scriptures come to me, and it is what it is. But it's true. You're not going to be given something that the universe thinks that you can't handle. It's all going to be according to divine timing, and whatever portion you have to suffer through is going to be just enough to teach you exactly what you need to learn to then move forward to the next step. So hang in there. Remember that happiness is your birthright, and that even if this is a tough time, remember that there's going to be an end to it, and you're not going to have to stay stuck in this peanut butter that you feel like you're stuck in right now. Okay, pile one. So this was a beautiful message. If you enjoyed it, please, subscribe to my channel, and there are other readings that are on there, a variety of readings. If you have suggestions, put it in the comments. I want to hear if you guys have any ideas of different pick card readings that I can do. Yeah. So yeah, if you could like this video, and helps to grow my channel if you subscribe. And I wish you the best. Take care. Pile two. Hello. You guys picked red jasper. Nice little stone. Oh, I didn't pick these up. Those aren't yours. All right. So the two oracle cards that I chose, or the decks, I should say. This is called the Universe Has Your Back. And I don't think I showed in the beginning. I didn't show. This card here is from the Elemental Oracle. Okay. And you chose the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. She is such a great oracle and tarot deck author, really. I love this one because this one, really, the whole point of it is good tarot, right? It's like everything has a positive kind of vibe and spin in this deck. So even cards that you think are difficult to swallow, kind of tough messages, in the book that comes with this, it is always a positive message that comes with it, which is great. So let's take a look at your oracle cards, okay? So the first one is, there's a stream of love supporting my dreams. Oh, that's beautiful. Stream of love supporting my dreams. Okay. And, ooh, this is beautiful. You got animals. Doesn't it look like Frida Kahlo? So pretty, right? I like the glow of the sun in the background. There's a horse. There's a a kangaroo, raccoon, a wolf, fox, some parakeets. It's a beautiful card. Okay, so let's read. What message does that have? I'm looking in the book here. Number 21. Okay, so the message of animals means companionship. We all have a superpower. Find yours and exercise it. Take time out to share your gifts. The natural world calls you. It is part of you. Experience having an animal companion. But if you cannot, then donate or make your property animal friendly or help animal causes. So the Latin word for animal is animalis, and it means having a soul. Isn't that beautiful? Huh. Wow. Okay, so let's see what we got going on for you, pile 2. What encouragement or advice do you seek, or does the universe have for you? So, by the way, if you decide to, if you do tarot and you want to get this deck, and you have small hands, it might be hard for you. I have big hands, and it's kind of almost a little difficult for me to handle, but just FYI. Let's see here. This one flipped out. Okay. What advice do you have for pile 2? Pile 2 spirit. Okay, so let's start with these 3 here. Ooh. Give me 1 second. She got the 3 of water, Queen of air, and Messenger of air. So, it feels like you might be going through just perhaps a time in your life that's difficult with the relationships in your life. So this could be a marriage, it could be, a friendship, maybe a best friend or 2. Maybe co-worker relationships also could be an issue here. But it feels like you are, despite having these like friendships, you're feeling still kind of isolated and alone. And I don't know if you feel like safe there. Perhaps you feel safe keeping to yourself. You feel like you're able to protect yourself and, not be vulnerable. Like sometimes in relationships, I don't know, for me, I try to be a really good friend, but, sometimes it's hard with, I have a family and things like that. But sometimes there's people in your life that are meant to be there. There are people in your life that really are there to walk this path with you and be kind of like your soul tribe. And it seems to me that you're somebody who doesn't let people in. And you don't, but in the same respect, you're not happy doing that in this at the same time. At the same time, you feel lonely. Like the messenger of air, really is an energy of, kind of like an epiphany, having, a lot of deep thought and realizations. And perhaps that's why you clicked on this reading, because you're realizing that this is a problem for you. And, when I look at this oracle card and it says, there's a stream of love supporting my dreams. What is that dream, right? What is the epiphany? Have you realized that you really want to have a more deeper connection with people? Or, you're in a relationship and you haven't been able to give emotionally like you really want to. You have the Queen of Swords here, and this is why I've gotten that message. And Queen of Swords is a very, isn't this card beautiful? she's a wise queen. She's wise. She is able to discern and make decisions. But she's not the warmest queen. She'll also cut off her own head, in order to make sure that she's the most correct person or the right in the decision making. She is not somebody who sugarcoats anything. Very, very, I think of her as the ice queen. And these cards kind of really these cards are such a contrast to the Three of Water. The Three of Cups is all about like camaraderie, celebration. Sometimes when it comes out in a love reading, it can mean actually, a third party situation where, there's might be some cheating or well, I shouldn't, cheating, really, I say that with no judgment, by the way. Life is life and things happen. But, yes. So, in this regard, I feel like it represents, relationships and emotion that you want to be able to share in relationships. That makes sense. Anyway. Okay. Well, let's pick some more. Let's get some more cards. Ooh, that came right out. Oh, and I don't read reversals, by the way. I feel like there's plenty of different cards here in tarot to represent everything needed for a message. Okay. Got a lot of cards here. All right. Oh, okay. One second. Okay. So there is a progression here, you have the Messenger of Air, and then the Two of Air, the Ten of Air, and you have the Four of Water and Eight of Water. So the Four of Water represents, just kind of like having something in front of you, but something being offered to you. So it could be a relationship, it could be an opportunity, it could be maybe some type of emotional idea that you have, or that you're feeling in your heart, maybe a direction that you need to go, that you're just kind of watching it there. You're not really grabbing the opportunity. Like you see how this pretty little mermaid has, the pearls represent the cups of water. And she's got this one there and these two beside her, but this one is in front of her and she's just staring at it. Almost even looking uninterested to even grab that one, that pearl as well. So, I think that is just a progression of perhaps maybe you're feeling discouraged, like I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to be able to get to this point in my life where I can overcome this big issue or this, like I know what that must feel like, where you feel like you make efforts to try to change things as a person. It's the most difficult. It's so difficult to try to change who we are because there almost isn't any accountability, right? You can say, I'm going to start being this way, I'm going to start being a giver. And then, you do it a couple times and, you realize it's harder than what you think. And then you stop giving and there's no one pushing you to say, hey, remember you said you were going to start doing this, and so, changing yourself can be very difficult. And so it seems like it's a progression from the Three of Water, just feeling like having this great, realizing that this is what you want, but then running out of gas and feeling like, I just don't even know if I can do it, And then you have the Ten of Fire. Like, this is kind of random, to be honest with you, because you have a lot of swords and a lot of water. And fire really represents passion. It represents, momentum, moving forward. Here, like you see the wands, so to speak, which is what fire represents, are papers that are going in a circle and burning. And there's a progression of the way they burn, right? So, and what that means is that this card talks about, tens mean that the number 10 usually is about the ending of something and the beginning of something else. So kind of like a crossroads, right? And so with this 10 of fire, you know, I think of this card for me as like burdens, heavy burdens that you're carrying. Perhaps there's secrets, perhaps there's things that you haven't told anyone that is contributing to the feeling of not being able to overcome this, or dragging you down. Feeling like, oh, I just can't even do this, because you've got other burdens here contributing to this. So this could be, perhaps projects you're working on. It could be, relationships that you might be having that are sucking the life out of you. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that. And Two of Air is, this card is usually represented with a woman. She's blindfolded and she's got two swords. And it's supposed to be a time of reflection, looking into, your character. Self-reflection is a really great way to put it. And the swords are there on either side to protect her. Okay. Some people feel like, the Two of Swords is a decision that needs to be made. And that's quite possibly the situation here. Like, you got to the point where you've realized there's a decision that I need to make here, and I want to make the most logical decision. And unfortunately, in relationships, sometimes logic does not, it's like oil and water when it comes to relationships sometimes, you could really have, plan everything out very logically about what you want to happen in a relationship, but the heart, relationships deal with the heart. They deal with emotion. They deal with, like you've heard before, that the heart is blind. It's like, it doesn't matter what you have in your mind, about how things should go, but when emotions play a role, that is not something that you can control, right? That's not something you can't control, how someone feels about you. And if you get unexpected emotions and you're like, I don't even know what to fucking do with this shit, again, you're not going to be able to control it. It is going to be what it is, but you're going to get past that. I think the advice here is that, or the encouragement I feel is that you are going to get past this, okay? And you're going to be able to walk away from things that don't serve you anymore, okay? Which I think speaks to this 10 of Wands, the burdens that we were talking about, that's holding you back, I feel like this card makes me feel like, let's say you were riding a bike up the hill and you were pulling a wagon, and the wagon just had, things that you really didn't need, but you felt like it'd be good to have, things that you thought I guess I should say things that you thought you needed, right? But the heavier that wagon got, the slower you got, and the more you start thinking, what, maybe I don't need this wagon anymore, And so I think that is something that you should probably think of and see what is it that you're going to have to let go of in order to free yourself from the burdens of all of this thinking that you're doing, all of this logical, you're just spinning your wheels trying to have a logical answer for an emotional journey. And that is not, or I shouldn't say it's not, because everyone's different. But I think the advice that the universe is saying is that there's more to relationships than just logically figuring things out. And that could be what's stifling you from moving forward. I think once you let go of that and start getting in touch with your emotions, getting in touch with how you feel about things, and a couple good ways you can do that is like, maybe writing things down, writing your feelings down, researching what, definitions of what certain feelings are, even, going in and maybe learning tarot yourself, or picking up a really good book about emotions and things like that, to help you figure out, because again, if you're a logical person, you're going to want facts, right? That might help really break you free from this kind of hamster wheel of, thinking that you have to figure everything out, Let's get one more card, because I feel like the story is not finished here. Let me get one more card of advice for pile 2. Okay, see, look, patience. Patience, which is like the temperance card, okay? Patience, really temperance is a great card because we're not just talking about like waiting. We're patience and temperance. The actual card is usually a woman, and she's got one foot in on land and one foot in water, and it speaks about just taking the middle road, right? Balance, taking the middle road and maintaining balance in your life. Okay, and so which is funny because look at how this card has the blue represents water and how it's streaking straight down, which makes me think of like the path, right? Taking the most balanced path and being patient through that journey. And it just is funny that this card is about companionship, right? It's about, look at how warm this card is. How gorgeous this woman is, the colors of red and green and, it just is so vibrant. But then all of these cards here were like so ice cold with all of the sword cards, and look how much sword action you have going on here and how little passion you have here. You only got the wands, which was kind of random there, and these cards. So there isn't balance here. And I think the universe is really just telling you, honey, you've got to try, keep doing that. This is the goal, is to reach balance. It's not to say you don't need logic. You do need logic, but you also need passion. Okay? And there's people in your life that can help you get there if you would just be open to it. What do you think, and who do you think that stream of love is? These relationships to support your dreams, to help you overcome things, to help you get to where you need to go. Mentally, emotionally, all of that. So yeah, I really wish you the best, pile 1. I empathize with you a lot because I know what that feels like when you're stuck in your head and you know where you want to be and you're just like really just walking through the mud or feeling discouraged, like, I keep trying and I don't get anywhere, and, perhaps you've been, perhaps you're someone like myself where I am not someone who easily can, live in a gray area. It's usually black or white. You're with me or you're not with me, or I'm doing this or I'm not doing it, or, it's very difficult for me to stay patient in a gray area where like, yeah, okay, I already made a decision that I want to do X, Y, and Z, but there are things holding me back. So I can't do these things. So all I do is I sit in this kind of like Ten of Swords energy, worrying, trying to, worrying and obsessing pretty much over what I want to do and being so discouraged and feeling burdened that I can't move forward. There's no momentum, But that is where patience and temperance kicks in, because there is true strength in being able to live in a gray area that creates endurance and strength of character. So it is a gift, actually, that doesn't feel good right now. Kind of like working out, right? It doesn't feel good to work out, but then after you're done, you feel better. You start getting kind of slim, you start feeling good. You don't get out of breath going upstairs anymore. Clothes are fitting better. There's benefits to it, right? But maintain that balance, just like with anything in your life, right? If you overdo something, it just runs you into the ground and it's imbalanced, versus just trying to take the most balanced path will get you there. So yes, logic and emotion. So just tip that scale over a little bit and try to get it in the middle and call on your friends for help because they're there for you. They want you to succeed. And you'll be able to move past it and walk away from things that aren't serving you. Okay? So I really wish you the best, Pile 2. This was beautiful. Hang in there. I know it's really tough. I have other pick a card readings about like positive things about like what makes people, attracted to you, or just kind of fun readings. So if you want to cheer yourself up, check those out. Subscribe if you enjoyed this channel. It helps my channel grow. Write a comment if you have any suggestions on any kind of pick a card reading you want to see. Please leave it in the comments, okay? You guys take care, and I wish until next time, okay? I wish you the best. Bye. All right, Pile 3, how are you guys doing? Okay, so you picked the jade. Isn't that pretty? I love the jade. Every time I see this color stone, I think of mint for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a mint color, right? Okay. So we have 2 oracle cards here. One is from The Universe Has My Back, and the other one is from, if I can find the book that I just had. Where did it go? Here it is. Elemental Oracle. So it's really cool. It incorporates alchemy, science, magic, but it's a bunch of oracle cards, and they have messages and a lot of facts and information about each element, which I really love. So, okay. And then, of course, you picked the Tarot of Dreams, I think is what we got here. All right, so let's see what you got for your oracle cards. Okay. Through prayer and meditation, I create ripple effects of peace in the world. Ooh. Wow, that's powerful. Okay. So you might be somebody who is a giver. Maybe your line of work is in something that's benevolent, like working with the poor, working with the homeless. Maybe you're a social worker or a caregiver, like a nurse, or perhaps you're maybe you feel like you write poems or something. Okay, anyway. So then we have rain as your element. Look at that. That is beautiful. Looks like the number 7 is there. Interesting. All right. So number 35. Let's read it. Let's see what message is there for you. $35. Did I say number 5? 35? I don't know. My coffee is still kicking in, so bear with me, y'all. All right. Rain. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Isn't that terrible? Fundicity, I think is what it is. If you know, then it's actually a Latin word for fruitfulness. Thank God they have the description there on the bottom. Anyway, okay. So the conditions of greater prosperity are met. Know that all will be well. Cleanse yourself of old, outdated views. You have everything you need to grow. Let yourself be cleansed. Interesting. I see a theme of water here. All right. Let's see what the advice is from the universe for you. I love this deck. This deck is very vibrant in its colors and descriptions. Okay. I don't read reversals. I do like having them jump out, though. I feel like it's more authentic that way. So let's see. What do you have for pile 3? What advice do you have for pile 3, Spirit? Oh, that almost popped out there. Okay. Lots of cards. Okay. Let's take a look at this. I need more cards. 1 second. Okay, so right off the bat, you've been going through a very difficult time. I think that you're trying your best to persevere through what you're going through. It seems like this is a theme throughout the piles. Like you guys are really going through some heavy stuff. So there's been some strife, some opposition in your life that has really kept you kind of like a prisoner of your own anxiety and your own fears. It could be two things. So because this is speaking to many people, it could be your own. Sometimes when we get caught up in this anxiety kind of like hamster wheel, we can make things bigger than they are. Make things, just one fear rolls into another. So the Five of Swords could be that, that you've created, just by staying in this fear and anxiety mode. You've developed further, on top of the Ten of Swords, further ideas of opposition or, someone being against you in some kind of way. And I feel like you're a very gentle person. Deep inside, the Queen of Cups is a beautiful, one of the most, she's a beautiful queen, very elegant, and emotional. She's able to, but she's in control of her emotions. She's not somebody that is, when it comes to her feelings, she's not like up and down and kind of erratic. She is actually very calm and giving and benevolent with her. And kind. She's just a kind person, And I really feel like that card represents, a lot of you out there, that you are a very delicate, kind person. And you have a huge heart, and you want to give. But I'm not sure if you have maybe ideas of things that you want to do, but your fears are holding you back. Maybe you feel like you're going to fail. You feel like it's not going to work out. Whatever idea you might have about being giving to society, maybe your community, maybe your family. You might be having a hard time communicating, because I just got I'm choking on my spit here. A hard time communicating things to people that you want to see happen. Maybe you have a difficult time articulating things, and you stay in your head a lot, I think that's the way that you cope. You do a lot of prayer and meditation, which is wonderful. We have the Hermit here, which really ties into this card. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace around the world. And you've been taking this more introverted path to giving to other people, right? Because for myself, I'm a very boisterous, I'm more of like a extrovert / introvert. I can be an introvert too, but I'm more like very opinionated. If someone asks me advice, I tell them what I think, but having that interaction, I feel like doing this channel, I can just pass that good energy out to others. And then there's other people who do it quietly. I'll pray for you, or I'm going to make sure I meditate about this person because I'm really worried about them. You kind of stay in your head, more than putting action behind your ideas. And I think that keeps you trapped. I think it does cause you some despair and sadness that you're not able to really do everything that you put into reality, everything that you would like to do, and the kind of person that you want to desire to be, to aspire to. And then down here we have the Eight of Swords. I'm sorry, Eight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Okay, and the Page of Coins. All right, so I think really this is the advice here. And I think the advice here is to really get in touch with your inner child, okay? Pages represent children. Coins represent, something of, sustenance, right? The money, home, things that tangible things, right? Go back to that childlike spirit that you had when you weren't afraid. Sometimes we draw conclusions in our mind as we get input from our environment growing up about what we should do, how we should act, what is good to say, what's not good to say, socially. And sometimes we draw conclusions that are not healthy, and we don't undo it because we just think that that's just the way it is. When it's all about perspective. Changing your perspective about how you see yourself and how you interact with the world. How much of you is conforming to what your environment tells you to be versus what kind of person you want to be. All right. And even though introspective thinking is absolutely huge when it comes to meditation and prayer, you do have to interact and take physical steps towards your passions. That's what the Eight of Wands is all about, fast-moving passion. And on the bottom there's a bunch of doves flying out from the sunset. Or actually it looks like a sunrise. And doves for me represent hope, It represents, purity, hope, happiness, goodness, right? And, if this is something that you're wanting to spread, right? If this is something a goal that you have, that you want to be this charismatic, passionate energy when it comes to helping the world, staying in the hermit energy, yes, you get enlightenment, but you stay in one place, right? You're not taking steps to move in any direction. You're getting all of this enlightenment, but what are you doing with it, right? And the universe is saying, please, you have a gift. You're already wise. You have talents, wisdom, insight, and inspiration to share that you're not sharing because of whatever is holding you back. What are these constraints that you're putting on yourself? Are they self-perceived? Are there ones that you've just put together yourself because of just your environment? Did somebody tell you would fail? I mean, I know things of spirituality, people, when they don't understand things, they're afraid of them. And it's easy for people to put things down that they don't understand or that they fear. We all know that, right? There's plenty of examples of that in our society. Don't let, people say that you're going to be successful or that you shouldn't be this type of person or put you in a box and stereotype you. That's none of their business. You are in control of your own life. And you, like in one of the other piles, there was one card that said happiness is your birthright. It's something that you have the right to be happy. You have the right to live your life as you choose in every aspect. Of course, that we're not hurting anyone. We're not being a harm to ourselves or others to pursue that happiness, right? Okay, but, really, it is our right. If you have to leave a job because you're not happy, do it. If you, of course, my mother hen advice is don't burn your bridge, and also make sure you don't leave your job before you have another one. But anyway, that's a side note for someone out there. But yeah, if you're, in a stagnant area, emotionally and mentally, break out of it. Bust out of it. Do something out of the norm that you wouldn't normally do. Pick up that phone and, like this was talking about animals, for example. Let's say you want to really help animals. Well, why don't you just pick up the phone and call a shelter and see if they have volunteers that maybe you can volunteer doing that. Maybe you can volunteer for a friend to house sit their pets, or, do something that is with action, not in your head. Like you have the Knight of Wands. Does he look like he's staying in one place? No. He looks like he is charging forth with passion. Has his direction set, and he is on his way. Okay? And I think, getting in touch with your child, your inner child, is where that's at. That's where you're going to find the passion, is getting in touch with your inner child. Doing what, deep inside, we all have that inner child. We all remember who we used to be before, people in our environment started making us draw conclusions that, they're just conclusions. They're not reality, in the sense that it's all about perception, right? You can be in the same shitty situation, let's say you're stuck in the rain and you don't have an umbrella. One person's perception will be like, oh, I'm going to get wet. Now I have to go change my clothes. Well, another person will be like, I'm so happy I'm in the rain, and dance in it. The rain is still falling either way. It's all in the way that you look at it. And that is a huge lesson I've had to that I still continue to learn in my life. And, it seems like that's definitely the theme running through here. So remember, you are my little Queen of Cups. Now, this is not gender specific, by the way. So that's the card I'm talking about. The energy that is being represented here. You guys, pile 3. You guys continue to do your good work. Continue to search for answers. Continue, to look for this enlightenment, but couple it with passion and action. Don't stay in your head, because that is where we can create our own, our own anxieties and lies. Just false representations of what our reality is. Like, look at her. She's there. She's laying there next to these swords, and she's afraid that they're going to fall on her. But it's an illusion, right? Because she could just get up and walk away. Okay? She could get up and just walk away. But there she is, staring at those swords, running all those thoughts through her mind, stuck in her anxiety, And then it even overgrew into the 5 of Swords of oh, maybe this person, maybe you actually, some of you do have someone that's saying, you know what, don't be such the comment came to my head, don't be such a tree hugger, or don't be like someone's trying to put you in a box. Don't let that happen just because they don't understand it. You have the wisdom. They obviously don't. Okay? So yes, get in touch with your childlike spirit, and you are going to flourish. It is going to be beautiful. You really are going to flourish. Okay? So pile 3, I hope that helped you. I really wish you the best, and keep doing your good work. Get some action into it. Get that balance of both meditation and prayer and action, and you're really going to be able to find balance. Emotional balance, and just feel overall more complete and on the right path. Okay, so you take care. I wish you the best. If you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe to my channel, put a comment below if you enjoyed it or what resonated with you, and go ahead and if you have any suggestions for different pick a card readings, I would love to hear it. Okay, so you all take care. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, bye.